I just want to quickly demonstrate how fast this thing is. And I just got this yesterday. And so I'm not exactly proficient in using this little guy, but I will show you how big of a difference this makes in loading a magazine. This is a 10 round 9mm double stack magazine and the UpLULA magazine loader. So let's load this little guy up. Push, drop. Oop. Get in there. There you go. 10. A fully loaded magazine in at least half the time, maybe even a quarter of the time it would have taken me to load this by hand. Oh, wonderful. Hello, Devon here, and I am going to be doing a video today to test out a product that I just bought. Now, when I'm teaching classes, a lot of people struggle with the part about loading magazines. And I give my students a selection of a few different kinds of semi-automatic pistols to get a little bit of experience and exposure to multiple types, different kinds of magazines, and some guns with different features and fit. So the magazines that I have them loading, they're usually 9mm and 45 ACP. I have single and double stack magazines. Single stack, double stack. Okay. Now, depending on the gun, the spring for these magazines, there's this piece called the follower, and this is where the cartridges go. You have to push the follower down with the cartridge in order to get those cartridges in there. Some of these strings are very strong, and the more they are compressed, the stronger they get. And especially for people who are not very experienced in shooting, it can be very difficult. And the struggle is real. I absolutely understand that. I will say, especially with this magazine, this has been the hardest magazine that I've ever experienced to try and load when it was brand new. This magazine belongs to a Sig Sauer P365. It's a 9mm double stack magazine, and it holds 10 cartridges. That spring was just so incredibly strong, and it still is. When I first tried to load this, I think I might have gotten 5 cartridges in here before my hands and fingers were too sore to continue. And it was only after multiple attempts and struggles I was able to get this thing completely loaded. So in my class, the students have to successfully load a magazine. They don't necessarily have to load it completely to capacity. They have to demonstrate the fact that they can actually load a magazine by hand. Once they've done that, I at least tell them that there are such a thing called speed loaders. This one came with an HK VP9SK, and it may only fit those magazines. It works, but you have to get used to it. And it is still clumsy. It is potentially faster, but I wouldn't say that I would even recommend using this. I can almost load a magazine faster without it than I can with it. But I will say, once you get the hang of it, it does really save your fingers. And the way that this works is you press down on it. This piece pushes the follower down, and then you put a cartridge in. But you can't put it in all the way. So let me demonstrate with a dummy cartridge here. So you push it down, you insert a cartridge as far back as it will go, but it's still butting up against the loader itself. So you have to keep applying pressure while you let up on the loader, then you can push this the rest of the way back. So there's this piece inside the loader that the cartridges butt up against, and you have to lift this up and out of the way to let the cartridge be able to go back fully into its position. So then you just continue that process. Push down, drop a cartridge in as far as it'll go, and then as you let up, keep pushing back. Like I said, it's cumbersome. You have to get used to it. It's marginally beneficial. So the reason I'm making this video today is because I have seen so many reviews and videos on this right here. This is a magazine loader. It's called a universal pistol magazine loader, and the model is UpLULA, and it's made by the company UpLULA. As you can see, I haven't even opened the package. I just got this yesterday, and I've started to recommend this before I even had one, because every single review and video, everything I've seen on this thing has been nothing short of phenomenal. And seeing it alone in action is really impressive. But I am going to try it out for the first time today. So let's open the package. The packaging itself, I'm not necessarily very impressed with, but it's not the packaging that's important. It's the product. Okay. Easy to open. Good, good. It has this one piece of paper, front and back with information. Okay, great. Wonderful. It even gives you instructions, which, based on the videos that I've seen, I would watch a video. I would recommend to anybody that they watch a quick video, and they will absolutely see how easy this thing is to use. Ooh. Okay, let's toss that aside. Initial impression, it feels sturdy. Yes, it's polymer or plastic, whatever the case may be. It has a spring-loaded hinged piece in the front. Okay. So far, I like what I see. This is looking very well built. There is a lock, little tab right here, and from what I understand, it's for when you close this, you can press that lock down, and yes, it does. It stays closed for storage purposes. That's all. So I'm going to push the lock back up, release it. Okay. So I'm going to move the camera down and get a good view of what we have going on here. Okay. Here are my magazine options, and I am going to be using dummy ammo for these demonstrations. I have 9mm here and 45 ACP here. This is a 45 ACP magazine. Single stack. I have a 9mm single stack and two 9mm double stacks from different guns. And you can see the bottom of these are different It's not that they're built fundamentally different. It's just a different base plate on them, which makes them sit a little bit differently. But it should not matter for the UpLULA. Let's go with, I'm going to start with a single stack because this is much more common to me these days. Single stack 9mm. Let's go with the VP9 SK. It's a little bit larger. Get my hand on that and let's try this out. So the instructions on the videos that I've seen is it looks a lot like the way that this one works, except you have this additional squeezy action going on here. So I will fit this over the top of the magazine. Okay, it fits loosely. I don't know that that's going to make a difference, but I'm already seeing, I think, something that's kind of intuitive here. So inside this magazine loader, it's probably difficult to see, but there is a piece that has an angled part to it, angled sides to it. And it looks like it fits nicely over this angle here. So I am going to situate it so that it's back up against the back of the loader. Back of the magazine against the back of the loader. And my magazine is fitting into that angled piece. There, you can see the angle on that piece a little bit better from here. Okay? Okay, all right, I'm seeing how that works. Now the videos say you fit it over your magazine and squeeze, press down. Okay, so far so good. Drop the magazine in, release. Okay, perfect. That's exactly what I've seen in videos, and oh, I'm loving this already. One round in and I'm loving this, because the one that came with this magazine package, like I showed you earlier, you have to push down on it, put the round in, and keep applying pressure while you lift, then you can push it the rest of the way in. That is nothing like what you have to do here. Once you release the magazine loader, the cartridge is already right where it needs to be. So I'm loving this already. All right, try it again. Just fitting it over the top, squeeze, press down. Drop in a cartridge. Good. Squeeze, press down, drop in. Let go. Squeeze, down. Drop in. Squeeze, down. Okay. Oh, this is a thing of beauty right here. Absolutely loving this. A fully loaded magazine right there. Oh yeah, that is great. So initially, where I was talking about that it fits loosely inside the loader, absolutely no problem. It's meaningless. Wonderful. Okay. Now, I've also seen that it has this little piece in the back of it that sticks out that is honestly, I'm not sure what the value is, but it's for unloading your magazine. Like so. You put this little lip on the top edge of the exposed cartridge and push that out. Okay. All right. I don't see why it's any more safe or easy than using my thumb. That's neither here nor there. That's a feature if, for whatever reason, it's valuable to you. Okay. So now, the SIG P365 mag. All right, here we go again. It fits over it. It's still kind of loose, but it doesn't seem to be a big deal. All right, let's drop one in. Squeeze, press, drop. Oh, I laugh because I'm loving this so much already. If you put the cartridges in the right direction, it helps. Oh, this is such a beautiful thing right here. Does it take a little bit of strength? It takes more strength. Ooh, what did I do wrong? Okay. Press down. Press down hard. Okay, let's analyze that situation. This is a 10-round magazine, and I'm having difficulty getting the 10th cartridge in there. So what I'm saying the effort is that I need right here is the pressing down. It's not taking a lot of hand strength to squeeze and grip it while I press down. It's more my arm strength, which again, not that big of a deal. Okay. So for this last cartridge, it was a bit of a struggle. It was like a really tight fit to get that last one in there. But honestly, with as easy it was to fill this to 9, oh, still absolutely well worth the cost. All right, let's try a single stack. Now, I'm a little bit apprehensive about how this is going to work out because the UpLULA has a plate that you can buy. Even here in the documentation, where is it? I saw it. This last bullet point in the yellow says use our 1911AI alignment insert to assist loading single stack mags. Okay, so what I've read previously about this is for 1911 models. You get an alignment plate, and that alignment plate fits on the bottom of this thing. But this documentation says it's either used for single or double stack, so I'm going to try these double stack magazines. I'm going to go with the 9mm first. This is not from a 1911 model gun, but it sure looks very similar to a 1911 in features and even the magazine design itself. So let's see how this is going to work out. Okay, that doesn't seem to be a big issue. Okay, so let's give it a shot. Here we go. Okay, so far I'm not seeing a problem here. And again, this is a 9mm magazine here, and obviously this is not a 10-round magazine. In fact, it's not. It says 9 right here. So this is now loaded to capacity. It is a single stack 9mm magazine that looks an awful lot like a 1911, and I didn't use any sort of adapter plate. So, okay. Now, here's what I think is going to be the real test. This magazine is for a 1911. It's a small, a compact size 1911, but it is a 1911, 45 ACP caliber. So, without using the alignment plate, let's see how well this works. Okay. You know what? I'm not seeing any trouble here. I mean, it's not smooth as butter, but at the same time, this is not giving me trouble. I mean, this is working just fine. And I just loaded it to capacity. This is not a 10-round magazine. In fact, it's a 7-round, which is how many I got in there before I wasn't able to finish. So it did take a little bit more effort, but I wouldn't say it was difficult by any means. So, do you need an adapter for a 1911 single stack mag to use this? I don't think so. I could see where it would assist, like the bullet point says, because of there's play in there. It would help to keep the magazine stable on this end of the loader. But the top end is stabilized by the internal piece. So I don't even think I'm going to bother with an alignment plate. I think this is going to do work. This is going to work just fine for me. So there you are, ladies and gentlemen. It is a valuable skill. It is important knowledge to be able to load a magazine by hand. But is there any reason why you should not use some sort of assistive device? No. If you are shooting, then you're going to want to spend more time shooting than you are loading magazines. If you know how to load a magazine, that's wonderful. Let's say you are in some sort of time crunch or in a critical situation. If you're in a self-defense situation, you're either going to have a loaded magazine already or you're done. You're not shooting anymore. You're not going to take the time to load a magazine because are you going to be carrying loose ammo with you? No. No. You're going to have either magazine or magazines that are already loaded. And when you're out of ammo, you're out. So there's no reason not to use a magazine loader. And as you already saw, this is not the only kind out there. There are definitely other brands, other models. In fact, UpLULA, the one who makes this brand, or this model, they have other models for smaller magazines like 22 caliber. And in fact, you can see some of their other mag loading products available. So, well worth it. I picked this up at my local range, Wolf's Indoor Range in Bristol, Connecticut, the range that I use the most. I think it was a little more expensive than other places, but it's on par with others that I've seen. So this was $37 and change, not at all too big of an expense to be able to load up your magazines much more easily and quickly and get back to shooting some more. Thank you very much for watching, and yes, UpLULA, Universal Pistol Magazine Loader. I love it already.